Prospective candidates looking for employment in the public service will now be vetted on their use of social media and the internet. The additional reference checking is intended to ensure that government's recruitment processes are enhanced beyond the traditional means of screening. Until now, reference checking was limited to criminal records, citizenship verification, financial record checks, qualification checks, and previous employment checks. Let's get a reaction from the Assistant General Manager of the Public Servants Association of South Africa, Ruben Malika. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Malika. So this circular that we saw the last few days purporting to be from the Director General, basically outlining these new steps of checking people's social media use. It's genuine. Is this really happening now?
Yeah, thank you, Tulasizwe. Yes, it does. It has also come to attention of the PSA, and we have also reacted to that directive. In fact, we are saying that the directive, it talks about the personal suitability checks. And we are saying we actually welcome the initiative by the minister, because we still believe that it also provides that they still need a consent of the employee or prospective employee to agree to such checks being conducted. We welcome it in the sense that we believe that, for argument's sake, there are some applicants in the public service that you'll find that in their social media profile, they idolize, let's say, crime. Somebody who idolizes crime and also apply for a post as a policeman. We do believe that such person would not be a suitable personnel in the police service, and it therefore tells you that that personnel would not be actually be a person that is suitable to combat crime, but already in the social media idolizing crime.
So in your understanding then, Mr. Malika, this edition of the checks on social media, what is it intended to do? I guess what I'm asking you is, could we see people being precluded from taking up employment in the public service based in the main on what they've said and done on social media?
Yes, it does. For argument's sake, we have found that some, for instance, individuals would be like a person that really is not suitable to work with kids. And he has already in social media platforms indicate such kind of behaviors. And we are saying those kind of people, for instance, you'll be applying to work at social development, and therefore it will be very risky for a public service to employ such people to work with kids in social development, while actually this person has already expressed or behaved in such a way that is not suitable. He's already not suitable for such a position. And the good thing is that as the PSA we are saying, we will be engaging the minister herself on the policy that he has actually developed in order to make sure that we have a comprehensive government policy or public service policy that deals with social media in general. Because already there's a lot of case law that actually addresses the conduct of the current employees and also the prospective employees in terms of social media behavior. We have seen some of our members who have been charged for comments or things that they have said about the organizations, said about their departments, said about their managers on social media, which obviously leads to unnecessary disciplinary hearings being conducted against the current employees and also disadvantaging those who are prospective employees. Therefore, this issue is not only about the directive. It requires an issue that needs to be sit down with the minister. We need to develop a government policy on social media.
So you keep talking about people that are obviously not suitable to work in certain spaces in the public service. The example you give is of someone who glorifies crime but wants to be a police officer, or someone who sort of can be potentially a sexual offender but wanting to work in social development. I get the sense that you are sort of separating that from the generality of the civil service. It's saying to me that you perhaps have some concerns. What are your concerns?
Yes, our concern is that obviously we don't want this policy to be abused by certain managers, obviously targeting our members going into their social profile without consent. But the good thing about the directive, it also indicates that there should be a consent of the employee to want to be able to access the social profile media and deal with those kind of issues. We want it to be used in a fair and justifiable manner to ensure that we also have a clean public service, but we don't want a situation where the members will be victimized and targeted by their managers or their colleagues for the sake of their personal interest and personal goals.
All right, thank you so much for coming through and talking to us. That is Ruben Malika of the Public Service Association.